All right, boys and girls, welcome back to the Uncle Bo Gator channel. We're going to get back into a rhythm of making videos here. If you're first time here, welcome. I'm going to speak to my other subscribers before we move on with the video. So you guys know I haven't done a lot of videos lately, and a lot of that is because I haven't had much motorcycle stuff going on anyway. And over the last few weeks, I think I've just determined that maybe this shouldn't just be a motorcycle channel. You know, I'm just gonna be Uncle Bo Gator and we're gonna do stuff. I don't know. Is it a vlog? I don't know. It's kind of 2017 feels like. But we're gonna do motorcycle content. Maybe we're not gonna make it the focus. Anyway, on with the video. So what we're doing today, I'd love to be doing motorcycle stuff today, but we got other problems. So about 3 months ago, my face is probably gonna get dark here. About 3 months ago, wife started really noticing a oil smell and some smoke coming up out, you know, from under the hood after she drove for a little bit. And we took the Jeep down to the shop here in DeLand. I got my shop light on, it's pretty bright. And they looked it over and they said, hey, your valve covers are leaking. And I'm thinking, well, I could probably do that, but since you already have it, just fix it. Paid them a freaking grand. Well, still leaking. It's still just as bad as it ever was. And doing some digging, we found out that the oil cooler / oil filter housing on these 3.6 Pentastar motors are notorious for leaking. And the reason why is because these filter housings, cooler housing, whatever, is plastic, and the motor and everything surrounding it is aluminum. So obviously with expansion and contraction at different rates, that's just a recipe for something's going to happen to it. So we bought a new oil cooler. We bought an aluminum oil cooler from Dorman. After I was convinced that that was the model to buy, now I'm seeing a bunch of posts everywhere that those things are prone to some problems too. So we're going to go through some extra steps to, you know, try to make sure everything's nice and greased up and lubed up before installing, and, you know, make sure we put everything together right. Just like motorcycles, I'm not a Jeep mechanic, so hopefully we get this done without too many problems. But if you know your old uncle, if you've been around a while, you know there's going to be problems. If you haven't been around a while, be ready for problems. Let's get to it. All right, boys, first thing we're going to do is get up under this Jeep. We got to drain some of the coolant out. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a, yeah, you can see it. There's a petcock there. I can't quite get it with my hand, so I brought a pair of pliers over here to see if I can do it. The oil cooler has a coolant line that runs to it. The oil cooler has a coolant line that runs to it. I'm assuming the coolant's what helps keeps that oil cooled. So let me get that loose and we'll start draining that. All right, unfortunately my tripod's not gonna reach all the way down in here. The first thing we gotta do, well, I've got all the oil drained out and I've got a little bit of the coolant drained out. I don't know that little petcock that I used. I'm not 100% sure where that drains from, but it's not the entire system because my radiator's still full. And we're gonna pull this air intake off. And then there's some clips up here that hold this air filter on. Well, the air filter housing on. Mama got me this, she got me several things for Christmas. One of them is that magnetic bowl there. We like that. First time I'm using it because I haven't done any maintenance on anything in a while. I think the last maintenance I did was on when I did her bars. All right, let's see. Let's see now. We got this hose we got to get off. It's got to come off from one side or another. Definitely has to come off though. There it goes. Tell you what, I don't use this shop light very much. It's hot. I never know how to do these things, man. You'd think with all the shit I've done over the years, I would just inherently know, right? If you watch my video from, well, I uploaded it last week. Who knows when I'm going to get this one uploaded, but you know, Mama's got cancer, and we went on Thursday. She had her chemo port put in, and she starts chemo this coming Wednesday. Today is Saturday. Oh, I've got Skinner blasting over here. I hope we don't get flagged, but yeah, starts chemo on Wednesday, and like I said in the video last week, we don't really know how she's going to respond to that, you know. But I guess that stuff is pretty wild. Like they told her, you know, after chemo, like even be careful going to the bathroom, you know, flush twice or whatever, because I guess that stuff can, the chemo itself can spread to anybody else, and that's wild to me. Absolutely wild, man. Anyway, I'm kind of upset that I paid $1,000 to get this thing fixed, and it ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't fixed. But to be fair, they did tell me. They said, you know, it could be the oil cooler, but your valve cover gaskets are definitely leaking, so we can start there, right? So, I mean, they gave me fair warning. That still doesn't make me not upset. I mean, realistically, since I'm taking all this shit off, I could have gotten in there and done these valve cover gaskets too. You got two little clips up here. I know we're gonna have to take that thing off. These are gonna have to come off. Okay, it's fine. I gotta get that other part from down there. Good news is, I believe we're almost there as far as getting the intake manifold off. Let's go see if I got a 13 millimeter. Bo Mama also got me some ratcheting wrenches for Christmas, which is something I've been saying, like I said, for like 20 years that I wanted. Let's go see if one of those is a 13 millimeter. Got it on. All right, and we're going to use this wrench as a breaker bar. If I can. I cannot. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Oh, that's okay. I don't need it. This is the kind of fucking nut that made me want ratcheting wrenches in the first fucking place. Well, Bo Mama's great, man. Bo Mama is the best. All right, there's your upper intake. Yay! All right, we got this lower intake to take off, and then I'm going to show you guys the money shot. I'm going to show you what's been plaguing me. These little 5/16 bolts are only torqued down to like 9 foot-pounds. Guys, I know this camera sucks. I'm going to show you all the stuff. We're going to rebuild this thing. Not rebuild. We have to build the other oil cooler filter housing. Yeah, but what a shitty design. I mean, your oil filter is in this cap right here, if you guys can see that. I mean, I'll show you guys later, but how you going to put plastic for an oil filter / cooler housing, whatever, like in between your heads? That's just, this sounds disastrous. You know what I mean? This is dumb. All right, through some perseverance and choice language, we got this thing out. I actually went ahead and pulled the oil cooler out. It's see if I can get this on camera. It's over there. I've got it sitting on top of an oil drain pan. I want to see if I can get the old sensors off. I did buy new sensors just in case. If I can reuse the old ones, I'm going to do that and give myself $130 back. All right, let's take a look. All right, here's your money shot. I know I got the camera going everywhere right now. There she is. Look at all that. So the oil cooler, I got the strap in the way. Oil cooler sits in between the head. I don't know if you can really tell just how deep that is, but yeah, it's a mess, man. So I don't have a baster, so I'm just going to stuff this thing full of paper towels and drain it and keep it all in a plastic bag or something. I don't know. We're definitely going to clean that out. So then we're going to put together the new oil cooler and reinstall. Some of these things were a pain in the ass. I did have to get the shop back up here and vacuum around all of the ports there that go into your valves are right under there. And then I had to take off these 6 fuel injector connectors, whatever. So yeah, let's get back to it. All right, boys, we're gonna put this other oil cooler together. I did have to make 3 stops. I had to go to Lowe's, I had to go to Walmart, and I had to go to O'Reilly Auto Parts. Walmart was the only place in town, Walmart, that had a 1/4-inch drive torque wrench, because a lot of these torques in here are 9 foot-pounds. That's going to be your filter. Some screws here, some other bolts here. All right, here's all of our gaskets. We got gaskets for this guy. We got all kinds of gaskets. Holy shit. All right. Step 1, remove all that shit. Remove both sensors from the original housing. We're not going to do that because I bought new ones. I might have mentioned earlier that I was going to try to get the old ones out and reuse them, but since I already bought the new ones, yeah, it's 130 bucks out of my pocket, but they're new. So, cooler to housing gaskets. It's going to be these guys. Got 4 of these guys. Okay. I did buy some, where's it at? O-ring lube. We're going to use it on all these O-rings, which is good for keeping this from breaking down too soon, I guess, versus a petroleum based. So there's that. Step 4, install provided oil cooler onto the new housing. That's this guy here. Okay, there's guide pins to let you know you're in the right place. That's going to be there and there. Okay. Step 5, using provided oil cooler screws, fasten the cooler to tighten the cooler housing screws. Well, if there's not a torque pattern, we're going to make our own, because I definitely don't want to just go around in a circle on this thing. See, the torque wrenches that I had, the lowest one is 20 foot-pounds. That's not going to work. That's why I wanted an inch-pound one, so that's going to be 108 inch-pounds. And this Walmart Hyper Tough torque wrench is the same type of torque wrench. Oh, let me keep one of these out. That you're going to get, like the Pittsburgh brand from Harbor Freight, that I don't trust really. Let's go get the right Torx bit, shall I? See if I got one. Nah. I know this is a weird angle, but the way I had to squish my garage up with all of our toys and the Jeep, I don't really have. I can move this out of the way, I guess. All right, so it's T27, what these guys are. Whatever their prescribed torque sequence is, I think that's fair enough. There we go. Okay, and let's see where that's facing. I think we're gonna call that good, man. This is why I don't trust these torque wrenches. The other one I had from Harbor Freight. Yeah, see? It's fucking torque. Okay. Your vehicle will use one of the 2 O-rings. Yeah, see, I heard this. And I'm glad I paid attention to the video. I watch more than one video when I do these things. And I'm glad. So you got these 2 O-rings. If you use the wrong one, you're going to leak. 2011 to 2021 vehicles should use the smaller 22.3 OD black O-ring. 22 and later should use the blue O-ring. So we can get rid of the blue one. And that one is going to go here, I believe. Let's get the other O-rings out. I know what this is for. All right, let's keep pulling these out. These guys go on the intake manifold, all these little square ones. I don't want to seat these yet because I want to make sure I put the O-ring lube on them. So there's that one. This is another reason that these things leak, apparently. And I was watching, again, another one of the many videos that I've watched. And people not lubing these, and they get torn going in. All right, what I want to do now is go make sure all that oil is cleaned up out of the little channel. I'll bring the camera back over there as we put this stuff on. But yeah, we'll see you back over there. All right, took me a little while to get all of the oil out of the channel. That channel is way deeper than I thought. I mean, I wish you guys could see. There's not really much I can do here though. Tell you what we're gonna do while we're sitting here. I'm gonna go see if I can find an actual hose clamp. And I am going to, this forward nozzle, forward tube, I don't know what the hell it is. That's the one that's going to receive this guy here, if you can see it. And that's the one that's most prone to ripping. So we're going to clean this out real good. I'm actually going to grease the inside of that. All right, let's see what we can do here. Pull this coolant hose up. Put this on first. Yep. Tighten the fuck out of this thing. Lord, please be okay. Lord, please be okay. All right, we got new bolts. These are also 9 foot-pounds. I don't have a torque sequence, but I think we can figure it out. All right, I think what we're gonna do here, I've got it on. I've just got to torque everything down and put the new oil cooler kit came with all these new gaskets and all new gaskets on the lower manifold. I'm gonna do all that. You guys don't need to watch me put it together. You watch me take it apart. It's gonna be exactly the opposite. So I'm gonna do that off camera, and then you know, we'll back her up and we'll see how she runs. All right, boys, took me about, I don't know, 7-8 hours to do this thing, but she's done. That includes running to all those places I went to earlier. I actually meant to record filling it up with oil and burping the radiator, but I forgot. I've never been a good YouTuber. But, well, just like everything else I fixed, we're gonna call it fixed for now, because you never know what's gonna happen. You know, I had the flashlight down where the one tube, I don't know what the fuck it's called, the one little nozzle thing, whatever. The one that leaks the most common. Looks, knock on wood, looks pretty good so far, but that's all I had going on today. No motorcycle stuff, no music stuff. One camera angle or two sometimes, I don't know. But yeah, things are coming along. See you later.